Station North, located in the heart of the city, is home to over 24,556 Baltimoreans, or roughly 4% of the entire Baltimore population. As the home of Baltimore's Arts and Entertainment District and located next to the Maryland Institute College of Art, it is easy to see how art has influenced the evolution of this unique Baltimore neighborhood. From the historical textile buildings that became artists' workplaces to the diversity of the local businesses, Station North truly is a one-of-a-kind neighborhood that helps make Baltimore such a unique city. The purpose of this documentary is designed to provide background on Station North's rich history as well as discover more about one of Baltimore's most unique neighborhoods. Ben Stone, Executive Director of Station North Arts and Entertainment, provides some insight into the development of the neighborhood that continues to progress under his leadership and vision.
So what kind of works have you done when you were a city planner? Like what projects did you work on?
I worked in, if you look at the map, the area that says Middle Branch, so there's the Inner Harbor. Some of you guys are somewhat familiar with Baltimore City layout, but the Inner Harbor is the harbor that snakes up kind of right in the middle of the map, and then to the lower left of that is an area that says Middle Branch. That is the other Inner Harbor. It's kind of the back harbor. There's a highway, 2 highways built over it. It's going through a lot of changes now, so I worked largely in that part of the city. There's a lot of development plans down there, and people are saying it's going to be the new harbor, it'll be the green harbor, it'll be a more sustainable kind of development. It's moving along very slowly because of the economy, but I worked on a number of different projects down there. And I worked in this area as well.
So demographically, what changes have you seen? Like, how did it start out? What's it like now?
Mm-hmm. In Station North?
Yes.
It hasn't changed as much as a lot of people think. It's becoming more of a neighborhood of choice, meaning that people are actually choosing to live here, investing in homes and buying homes, rather than people who were essentially stuck and weren't able to afford to go anywhere else. So people are now seeing this as a destination area and they're wanting to actually be here. Demographically, there hasn't been widespread displacement or anything like that. Certainly a lot of new businesses have opened, but they've almost entirely opened in vacant spaces, and people who've bought homes have often bought vacant homes, so it's kind of, the neighborhood has become more dense and more full rather than one person coming in with more money and pushing someone else. But a lot of people work together because so many of the businesses here are run in a grassroots kind of way, and there's one guy or one woman or one person or 3 people who run a business. They kind of have to rely on each other, and you wouldn't necessarily know this if you didn't know everybody, but if you come here at nighttime, you see people running back and forth between bars to borrow a bag of ice, and simple neighborly things like that.
Right.
And a lot of times, especially for holidays like Halloween or something like that, different bars will collaborate. Everyone's different. It sort of depends. A lot of residents are in public housing or assisted housing, so that's a different situation. You don't have as much control over where you live if you're in that situation. A lot of people have bought homes recently and have been here for 5 or 10 years now, so that's different. And there's a lot of long-term residents who have been here and didn't come because it's an arts district or anything like that. They've just been here for even a few generations and stuff like that.
The neighborhood's pretty tight-knit then, huh? So that's the relationship between not just bars, but businesses.
Mm-hmm. And then ironically, a lot of people who run the bars will spend their night off drinking in the bar next door, which is always funny to see. They could go anywhere else in the city, but they end up 2 doors down. We're managing this project. You're welcome to have any of these postcards you want. This is the Open Walls Baltimore project. If you've seen any of the murals, there are a couple that are being worked on right now. We have about, I think we're up to 8 that are finished. We're doing about 23 giant, large-scale murals over the next 4 or 5 weeks. Been working on it for about a month so far. So that's a huge, almost $100,000 project that we're managing. It's taking up a lot of time in this area. We work with developers who are interested in acquiring buildings and rehabbing buildings and try to come up with great ideas for them and partner them with different people who are looking for space. We do a million other things, but that's kind of
many hats, huh?
Summary, yeah.
Where do you see Station North in maybe 5 to 10 years? Probably around the same dynamic as it is right now. And do you see any growth coming in?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the worldwide, I don't want to make predictions on the worldwide economy, but
right.
I think people smarter than me have said that things are starting to improve and will probably likely improve even more, which will be quite beneficial to this area. This is a part of the city where really fantastic plans were put together in 2007, 2008, and then the economy went straight down. But those plans still exist, and they're all sitting on the bookshelf over here. And so once people have money and people are more trusting of investors, or investors are more trusting of projects and of banks, etc., I think some of those projects will start to come together.